Hey guys, so a couple months ago I posted a video asking for help trying to figure out what this noise is. Wait for it. That noise right there. So I posted a video asking you guys for some help, and this is one of the things I really love about the YouTube community. It sat there for a while, but someone actually gave me a really good lead on what might be the problem. Some folks were saying, you know, check for fan to shroud contact, check the contactor, check this, check that. None of that really panned out, except one piece of advice. So now, YouTube user, and I'm going to apologize in advance if I'm mispronouncing your name, YouTube user Matt Luongo suggested to check the fan hub. And I checked the fan, I checked for cracks, I checked all that, but I didn't really look at the hub too carefully. So let me take this apart and show you what I found based upon Matt's advice. So I pulled the AC disconnect just to make sure there's no power to the AC unit. Now I'm just going to loosen these 4 screws to hold the fan shroud in. These Rheems are super easy to work on. That's one of the reasons I love them. And the fix for this, I thought that the problem was actually a problem inside the compressor, and I was getting ready to replace this condensing unit, but I don't think I'm gonna have to. So here's our fan and shroud assembly. Look at that. I don't know if you guys can see that. Let me get you zoomed in on that. So this is something I did not check, so I have to credit Matt for this. Thanks a lot, Matt. Notice I'm holding the blade still, but the hub is moving. So I think what's happening when we turn it off, that's what's causing that banging noise. So we're gonna replace this fan. Okay, so the new fan is here. I got this from Supply House, I haven't even opened it yet, so hopefully this is the right part. What I did is I went to Gemair's website, looked up the model number of the condensing unit. They have a parts list there. So I found the Rheem part number from Gemair, and then I found the actual part itself from Supply House. So let's see what it looks like. Hopefully it's an exact match. Sure looks like it. So here's our new fan. Looks quite a bit like the old one, just a lot shinier, right? And notice that this hub is locked in there, it doesn't move at all. So I think we're going to find that that's what our problem is. So now we got to take this old fan off. Sometimes these put up a fight. Hopefully this one won't. Of course the set screws put up a fight now. I'm just using a adjustable wrench on it. There we go. Now another possible cause for the fan making that noise is a loose set screw. So that popped right off. And here's a better look at the problem right here. Hopefully you guys can see that. I wonder if we can weld that. It might be a project for another day. Motor still turns nicely. Now what you want to do is I would clean up this motor shaft. I'm also going to put a little bit of what do you call it? Fluid film on there, just so the next guy has an easy time getting this fan hub off, just like we did. Notice it slid right off. I don't have to use a puller or sand anything. So let me get some fluid film, a rag, and we'll clean up that motor shaft. I am kind of curious what would have caused that that fan to separate like that, the fan hub. That's the other AC. Don't worry, it's not this one. In fact, let me turn it off so you guys can hear better. Oh, this is one of the things I love about Internet of Things devices. You can just turn them off from your phone. So let me just kick that temperature up a couple degrees. It should go off any second. There we go. And notice that one's quiet like it should be. So we got the motor shaft all cleaned up. Let's get our fluid film right here. Coat the motor shaft. This stuff does a really good job of preventing corrosion. And we'll just slide our fan blades on there like so. I'm going to set this fan blade a little bit higher than the last one. just to get some better airflow out of the condensing unit. And we got to tighten this set screw. Whoops, that's a little too high. Righty tighty, lefty loosey, right? You would think I would know that. You got to honk down on these pretty good. You don't want this fan falling off, especially if you're putting fluid film on there, right? Crank down on it pretty nicely. All right, that's not going anywhere. Let's set the fan in place and we'll see what the blade depth is. I think you want the blades to be about halfway in the shroud. That's what I've read. Don't know if that's true. Let's take a look. Get our wiring back in there. There we go. That's close enough, I think. What do you guys think? That's pretty close to halfway. I mean, I could bring it up a little bit higher. Let's try it. So let's reinstall those 4 screws that hold the fan shroud in place. I usually fluid film these as well. That's why they're not rusty. They're not very rusty. I usually turn them in a couple threads. Sorry in advance for the wind. Turn them in a couple threads and we'll hit them with fluid film. And this stuff does pretty well, even outdoors. You might have to recoat things maybe every 6-8 months, depending upon your microclimate. All right, just about done. Let's put our disconnect back in place. Then we'll turn the system on and see what happens. So power has been restored. Let's go to our thermostat app. And let's turn the system on. Go from off to cool. And we'll set the temperature down. Set it to 75. It should have a call for cooling any second. So we'll turn it on, we'll let it run for a minute, then we'll shut it down and see if that bang still occurs. Okay, so it just started up. Putting out good air. So let's let that run for a couple minutes and I'll shut it off. All right, let's shut it off and see what happens. I'm just going to raise the temperature. Good moment of truth. Wow, it's quiet. No loud bang. Amazing. Matt, I just want to thank you. I'm very grateful for that advice. It was spot on. This is one of the reasons why I love you guys and I love YouTube. Anyway, hopefully this video helps someone else. That's why I'm filming it. If you like this video, please subscribe. Thanks for watching, everybody, and stay safe. Sorry, I spoke too soon. Do you think we should fix this? So it's a $60 fan. I'll leave you guys links to the fan, the fluid film, and all that stuff as usual. But should I try and fix this? Anybody want to see me weld this thing or just junk it? Let me know what you guys think in the comments.